Hi family, we're looking at the principles Nehemiah used in building the walls of Jerusalem that took him 52 days to build something that had been destroyed for over 70 years. That is a great miracle. Now this principle is clearly stated in Nehemiah chapter 2 verses 11. The first thing Nehemiah did was to be consistent in prayer. When you journey through the chapter 1 to the last chapter, he prayed 14 times. He was fervent and consistent in prayer. And so for us to achieve our targets and our missions, we must have an effective, fervent prayer life in this year, 2025. We must be consistent in prayer. If we do not pray, the enemy will make fun and mockery of us. Number 2 is that Nehemiah stepped out after he had prayed. So after we have fasted, after we have sown a seed, after we have prayed, we must take a step, an action in faith. And this action that we take must not contradict what we have prayed for, but it must be in alignment with what we have prayed for. Praise the Lord. And so after Nehemiah had prayed and fasted for 120 days, what did he do? He stepped out of the palace. Being a cupbearer, he left there and came to Jerusalem. And so after we have prayed, we must move out. We must not be idle. We must not be lazy. We must not fold our hands in between our legs and wait for manna to fall from heaven. It's never going to happen. We must step out and get our hands busy doing the right thing that is in alignment with what we have prayed for. The third thing Nehemiah did was he applied wisdom. He applied wisdom. You get to realize that when they started building the walls and then the opposition arose against them, that was when Sanballat, Tobiah, and Geshem and all of those group of people were fighting them in progressing. What did Nehemiah do? Nehemiah sets guards, and he actually told the workers to hold their weapons in one hand and then the equipment they are using to build in another hand, and they were working day and night. How amazing. He could have said, oh, all right, we have prayed, God is with us, God says we should build, and so there is no need for us to hold weapons. But come on, no. They applied wisdom, and that was by holding the weapons so that they will stand armed, and then God will use that means to protect them. So we must also apply wisdom into whatever God has given us to do. When God speaks to us, we must ask deeper questions so that he gives us wisdom as to how we apply to the directive that he has given us. Then the fourth thing Nehemiah did was that when he got to Jerusalem, where he was going to do the construction, for 3 days, he did not tell anyone what the Lord has placed in his heart for a certain time. To get it? So there are times that we have to be silent about what God has told us or what we are about to do. When the plants or the fruit or the plant is not yet matured and you speak it out, people may destroy it and people may discourage you from doing that because they may think it's too big for you to do or resources are not available. But when we wait for some time where the words sink into our spirit, we are convinced beyond reasonable doubt that this is what God has instructed us to do. So let's learn to be quiet about certain things that God has placed in our heart until the right time before we talk about them. Then the fifth thing that he did was that he engaged just few people. We don't need a bunch of people who are fake laughter, fake advice, fake loyalty, fake love, fake support. But we are surrounded with a bunch of them. But if we have few people that are loyal and committed to the purpose for which God has given us or called us, we will execute that assignment. So in 2025, you don't need a lot of people. You need just few people that are loyal, committed, and have the fear of God to execute that task. So when people are fighting you, when people are rejecting you, don't be depressed. Don't look down on your vision. Be armed, be empowered that you just need few people. And those people, the Lord will help you to execute that assignment. Then the last but one thing that Nehemiah did was that he engaged the nobles and the priests and the other elders of Israel. Do you know why? Because of accountability. Accountability. He did not come and he did not disobey leadership with the intent that I'm the one God has sent to come and build, and so every other person does not matter. but he engaged everyone for accountability. So accountability comes into place where you are transparent and also truthful to the people that are of good character and have good connection with God, where they prick you and they point out to you, and then you tell them not only the things you want them to know, but the things that you know they are shameful, yet you need to open up to tell them, so they'll be able to discipline you and help you to stay on track. So if we stick by these principles that Nehemiah used, I believe that we will also have a story of success to share that will be of great blessing to us. Build a fervent prayer life. Have few people with you. Talk less. Have people that you are accountable to. Step out of your comfort zone and stay in prayer. And I believe you will have a success story as well. God bless you, and we'll see you again in our next video. Bye.